We can celebrate that. Who else did that on birthday?
My daughter today.
Oh,
My daughter,
your
Michaela.
daughter, Michaela. All right, happy
Happy
birthday.
birthday, Michaela. I'll tell her you said so.
These days, you just look for something to celebrate. It doesn't have some really ugly dark side to it. Ah, happy holidays. Who's gonna mow the cemetery when all of my family's gone? Who am I 41, my granddad was grafted by the army. They sent him off to fight over in Germany. Left my grandma alone with a brand new baby boy. And my mom was born the day they bombed Hiroshima. Not long after that, my granddad got to meet her. Got a job and commuted from Alabama to Kentucky. But still he would have told you he was lucky just to watch his pretty bride push them babies down the street. And the way that the cars all lined up behind her, the way that the traffic backed up behind her. Granddad's lost his mind 'cause he'd rather not remember anymore. And he refuses to stop driving, so Grandma's locked his keys next door. And he spends his days just looking around, looking around, looking around. But he's forgotten what he's looking for. He's forgotten what he's looking for. He's forgotten what he's looking for. When I was a young boy, sniffed a lot of glue. Mom sent me to rehab, told me what to do. We didn't have much money, the board picked up the tab, made me write a love song sitting in my room. Now we just drink whiskey, drive around my friends, get a haircut, get a job, maybe born again. And if you're living badly, tell you how to live. Get drunk and naked. Get drunk and naked. And if you're out there listening, just want you to know I've been doing just fine. Psychiatrists tell me so. My scars are patched up, my arms have almost healed. My demons almost tranquilized, the pain's almost killed. Me, you know, Jack Daniels become the best of friends. We got all them Baptists to die for their sins. I know the Lord is coming. Woo! what they say about you when you're not around. I wish that he was here now. I'm sure he would be proud. Because y'all are such an awesome, quiet That's a beautiful thing. So if you come to see me, I'm sure you'll be impressed with how well I'm behaving and how well I'm dressed. If you come to see me, hope you're coming soon. Get drunk and naked. Get drunk and naked. Get drunk and I may not know the words to this either, but I'm gonna try. Packed our few belongings and we moved across the ocean. Started a new life in this world so cold and vast. Dispersed from Ellis Island, my distant Irish kin. Eyes cut to the future, hearts tied to the past. I've got them written down. Held on to the road, held back to the promise.
Fucking awesome.
Our nigger leaves is live and we prayed to what would have us ever doubting John Thomas. Spread past Appalachia ever south. Spread through Appalachia ever south. And I hear we weren't welcome here, at least not in those days. No one needs our drunken fighting heathen kind. We settled in this new place, and we worked it in our ways, and we spread our kin upon it in due time. Spread our kin upon it in due time. We fought our losing battles and we held on to our ways. We thought of how we left behind our better days. Everyone noticed we're living life of leisure, some were living hand to mouth. Spread our hand.
I hope he doesn't talk cruelly about
ever
this.
south. Our hand against the darkness ever south. Something like that.
But they only play this like every show on English shows.
When I set my sights upon you, we were both still in our prime. We were lean. And I held you in my arms and swore eternal love this time.
Alright, come on, you get
Lasso
one.
your futures. and the mouth.
It's a lot of words.
Bash our heads against the future ever south.
He's definitely gonna make up for that.
We aimed our sights westward like so many did before. Sailing our surroundings just a distant shore. Everyone takes notice of the drawl that leaves my mouth. No matter where we are, we're ever south. No matter where we are, we're ever south. When the gentleman requested this song, like, I'm not sure I can remember how to play it. I'm kind of taking a break from it. I said, I'll try. My Christian Southern brother, well, I'll tell you all what for. To leave your heathen ways up in you and your shoes outside the door. Take a stand for noble causes till you just can't stand no more. And surrender to some Savior. Praise the Lord. Surrender to some Savior. Praise the Lord. Despite our best intentions and pains need to report, we keep swinging for the fences, coming up a little short. We sure can get it wrong. We sure can't get it wrong, y'all. And by the way, I want to make a quick prediction that Nikki Haley is positioning herself to be Trump's vice president pick. I just want to say, you heard it first right here. We're Southern in my carriage, and Southern in my stance. From the Irish in my complexion, and Scottish in my dance. The way I bang my head against the daily circumstance. This blue-eyed Southern devil will take you out upon the prowl. We take it as the truck, we take it out of town. Telling stories of our fathers and stories of our mouth. Always told a little slower ever south. Please forgive me for fucking that up so bad. Everybody's gonna be on the internet, man, he was fucked up last night. I can't remember the words to ever south.
I am so sorry, man. I did not mean to put you on a spot.
I wouldn't have done it if I didn't want to. I've written like a lot of songs, and I'm getting old.
Thank you for that.
And I'm on a flying tour, which means I'm not like carrying a bunch of weed with me. And I write all these songs all stoned on weed. And then when I try to sing them and I'm not stoned on weed, I can't remember the words. That's why Willie Nelson may quit smoking, but he ain't gonna quit doing the weed. He'll be up there and not remembering on the road again. See it happen. Me and my brother's old lady went out and got stinking. about me by the railroad tracks. She said I reminded her of him before he started drinking. Banging the babysitter every time she turned her back. We opened up the sunroof and we smoked a big joint. We drank a case of Pabst Blue Ribbon and a bunch of tequila, listening to the crickets and trains. And every so often she just lapse off into narcotic rounds. Moon and mascara. I've always been a holy terror. Temptations lurking everywhere. If your mind's in the gutter, beware. You'll find me there.
Is this off Alabama house woman?
Me and a friend were talking after the funeral. She said it should have been me, but I'm still around. And I've been so wild, I'm surprised I made it to the 7th grade. When all my dead friends have settled down, my eyes were puffy and she asked if I'd been crying. And I said tears are for pussies, but who was I kidding anyway? So we stopped at the bar and drank it dry. Beer and tequila. I've always been a thrill seeker, but thrills are a dime a dozen these days. And I found a dime in the gutter today. Tails facing up, still fucking up. I'm still fucking up. Fucking up. Anything happened on my way to a strange way of thinking. It's also heathens. I want to send this out to all you heathens. Especially the ones that road trip from far away. I never take that shit for granted, I promise. If I get the van out of the ditch before morning, ain't nobody gotta know about what I done. And I never hear a single word you say when you tell me not to have my fun. It's the same old shit that I ain't gonna take on anyone. And I don't need to be forgiven by them people in the neighborhood. When we first hooked up, you looked me in the eye. You said, "Pa, we just ain't no good." We were heathens in their eyes at the time. I guess I'm just a heathen still. And I never have repented for the wrongs you say I done what I feel. Was a difficult delivery. Now it's grown up, mean and strong. When you tell me that it's getting just a little bit tight, ain't the first time I've been outgrown. And I'm gonna push a little harder. She ain't ref till the rods are thrown, and I'll walk away. And I don't need to be forsaken by you or anybody else. And I never had a shortage of people trying to warn me of the dangers I pose to myself. Heathens. And these times can take their toll sometimes, and I know you feel the same way too. It just gets so hard to keep between the ditches when the roads wind the way they do. So we've got a brand new record coming out, and by we, I mean the Drive-By Truckers. By we, I'm not talking about all my various voices in my head. I'm talking about those other voices, too. I play in a band called Drive-By Truckers, and it makes me really lucky because I get to make a living doing shit that I love with people that I love, and so it's really, really incredible, and I never take it for granted. And we've got a new record coming out called The Unraveling, and The Unraveling is happening, baby, and it's January 31st on ATO Records. They've been good to us, and they keep just letting us do whatever the fuck we want to do on whatever timeline it happens to occur. And so we'll play a song off of that for you. Our last record was American Band, and that was a real special record for us because it just, I don't know, sometimes the thing you do, you feel so strongly about it, you throw it out there in the world, and people just like, they kind of run away from it. And every now and then you do something and everyone tells you it's not going to work, and then people like it after anyway. And that was kind of that record for us. And we ended up touring behind it for 3.5 years, which is a really long time, and yet it always kind of, those songs are still special and fun to play. Even though I've been taking a break from a couple of them lately, but that's another story. So anyway, it was time to start thinking about another record, and I was doing a little bit of writing, but everything I was writing just wasn't the kind of thing that I felt like was the record that we wanted to make, and some perfectly fine things that I hope to do something with at some point, but you know, the band, we play certain rooms right now, and we kind of got a thing going, and I wanted a record that would be like the next step of that evolution, and I wasn't really wanting to like take it somewhere that just didn't really seem like where I wanted to go with that, and so so it kind of became a bit of a writer's block, and I was looking for a way to try to kind of find a voice for the shit that's going on in my head that I think is going on in a lot of people's head right now. And as we kind of watch a lot of shit kind of devolve around us, and trying to figure out a way to put these feelings I had into words that I would actually want to hear myself, much less express to anybody else. And so this next song was kind of the breakthrough song that kind of gave me a roadmap of where to go. And I wrote it in a place I'd never been to before called Gillette, Wyoming. And are you from there? You'd be surprised. I mean, the place is, I go and I say that, and someone goes woo because they grew up there. And I don't know. Maybe they did. Maybe they didn't. But in all fairness, Gillette, Wyoming, I've never been there. I've been at an off-ramp just outside of Gillette, Wyoming, on the side of I-90. I think it's I-90. And in all fairness, it could be anywhere it could have been Florida, it could have been Arizona, it could have been Wyoming, it could have been Connecticut, because every fucking off-ramp looks basically the same. Wow. I'm doing that. That's my special effect. I don't know if you'll hear that or not.
Yes.
But anyway, so we're sitting there. We played the night before in Sioux Falls, South Dakota, which, don't let them fool you. There is nothing south about Sioux Falls, South Dakota in January. It was like below zero, and the falls were standing straight up, shooting everybody that bothered to look at them a bird. And then we were on our way to Missoula, Montana, which is a really long way. And fortunately, we have laws that require the bus driver to pull over at some point and stop and hopefully sleep. And I say that because we've been touring a really long time, and in the early days of having a bus, we basically would hire anybody who had something configured sort of like a bus that was willing to just drive us where we needed to go. And so we had drivers. We had a bus driver one time, and he left Minneapolis, Minnesota, and drove nonstop to Seattle. I'm not even sure he even peed. I mean, we just didn't stop, and that's really not safe. We've all got kids now, so we all have something to try to live for, and so nowadays we hire more ethical drivers. At any rate, so our bus driver had to stop for his 12 to 14 hours of legally required rest, and it happened to be at an off-ramp just outside of Gillette, Wyoming. And we were all starving, so it's like, well, let's check into our rooms, and let's be out here in 15 minutes. And Yelp, 3-star Mexican, sold. You don't want no 3-star sushi in Gillette, Wyoming, but 3-star Mexican means it's just going to be slathered in cheese, man. Everything's going to be under a layer of cheese, and it's going to be delicious whether it's good or not. And do y'all hear that? Man, that's really impressive. I wish I knew what song it was. I'd just sing along. So at any rate, we meet down in the lobby, and we're at a Holiday Inn Express, and the bus is parked across the parking lot. It's pretty cold, and it's under this giant billboard for the Oasis Tanning Salon, and I have no idea why that equaled to a song, but by the time I got to the 3-star Mexican, I wrote the first verse on a napkin, and then after I ate my food smothered in cheese, I went back and I wrote the rest of the song in the hotel room, and it's called 21st Century USA.
Good story.
Oasis town, down the street from the Mexican restaurant behind the auto zone, and the place is hawking payday loans. There's a Kmart and a KFC, a fitness center and an Applebee's, Wells Fargo and a Taco John's, good time bar to get your bad swerve on. In a town that's named for razor blades, all American but Chinese made, folks working hard for shrinking pay, 21st century USA. Methane gas. We got jobs where the work is hard, stores to max out your credit card.